All right, so today we're here to talk about one of the many phenomenal assets in our community, the Princess Theatre. When the Princess Theatre's iconic marquee is illuminated, all of downtown Decatur knows it. From concerts to movies on the big screen, the Princess Theatre has been a staple in Decatur since 1919, when it was transformed from a stable to a theater for silent movies. And today we're joined by the Princess Theatre's Executive Director, Dr. Mary McDonald. Mary, it's wonderful having you with us today.
Thanks for having me, Tab. I'm so excited to be here.
I don't know if you know this, but I worked for Jim Duncan at the theater whenever we showed feature-length films.
Oh, okay.
Were you aware of that?
I think I've heard that in passing. What you sell popcorn or you take tickets?
I sold popcorn.
Okay.
So popcorn, Cokes, candy, and all that kind of stuff.
Excellent.
Encourage people to get your feet off the seat, and just. We would turn the marquee on and off. So that kind of cool,
Yeah.
And then for the house lights, they cut the house lights on for the audience to exit from the sound booth or where the studio booth.
Is that all the way upstairs in the upper
That
balcony?
was upstairs at the time, and then they would leave, and so the switch for me to get to was at the back of the stage. So at 13 years old, in that theater in the 70s by myself, I would go down through the auditorium or the theater itself to the back of the stage and cut off all the lights. And man, you're talking about an eerie feeling to come. You've done it?
I do it all the time. Well, we do have a switchboard that allows us to turn on the lights. Sometimes it doesn't work, so we have to go back there, push the button, or I forget to turn them on when I'm at the front of the house, and then I have to weave my way through the back. Yeah, there's a lot of scary things that go on back there. We have some activity.
So we used to have some back in the day, some really big turnouts for movies. Of course, the Disney movies typically came there, and then they would Gone with the Wind would come there, and those were the cellulose. I think I'm saying it right. The heavy reels, and so the projector. They were a part of a union, and they were not tasked with carrying their film rolls up the stairs. That was our job, and
they kept you busy at 13, didn't they?
For a 4-hour movie, Gone with the Wind, that was a lot of reels.
I was going to say there had to be multiple reels.
Oh my goodness!
We have some. We found some over the years just in various random places, just reels of film, and I look through those little reels every once in a while to see if I can figure out what movies they are. I don't think we have anything special like Gone with the Wind, but it's still interesting to look through those. Now it's Blu-ray.
Yeah,
so
it's very light. Yeah.
It's a little bit lighter. It still doesn't stop the fact that we've got to walk up all those stairs to put it in the machine.
Sure.
And then you get downstairs and realize you didn't push a button or something, and then you got to go back up there. So we get our exercise at the theater still.
But now we're going to talk about this more as we get through our visit today. But it's more takes place than just there in the theater because of the amount of space and the many generous contributions of our residents and those in the region, and we'll talk about some of them as well.
Sounds great.
So a little bit about you. Before becoming the executive director, you previously served as the Princess Box Office and patron manager, and then during your tenure in your previous role, you developed this other part that's the Listening Room series, and that has brought more than 3,000 patrons downtown. And Mary says that her travels to over 23 countries and 42 states have been key to her developing an appreciation for the culture, the arts, and entertainment. So often we only know about part of the story besides the great shows and events. Tell us about the mission of the Princess Theatre and what this resource means to our community.
Yeah, our mission is fourfold, really. One of that is to preserve the historic Art Deco landmark. We are on the historic register, so it's important for us to make sure we're maintaining and restoring that, and with the help of the city, we do that on a regular basis. Of course, you know, I've got 27,000 square feet whose air conditioning is not working right now and hasn't been for 3 weeks. So that's going to be fun this weekend. But anyways, we're working on ways to get these things fixed to make sure that we are preserving this landmark. We serve as a multi-purpose rental facility for our community. So we have diverse performing artists, which is part of our mission, is to make sure we're bringing in a diverse range of performances for our community, and we collaborate with other community groups. So we are meeting our mission by not only serving our North Alabama, but the region around us too. So we're really excited to keep it moving.
Well, you're doing a good job with that. You know, that's one of the areas that maybe most photographed areas in Decatur. Folks, you'll see them taking advantage of the marquee. I can walk to lunch, even whenever it's not lit up. And of course, golly, I'm going to go back, and I'm guessing here, somewhere 3 to 4 years ago, we transitioned from a static, if you will, marquee to now.
Penny was happy about that, I'll tell you that.
So now we have this new marquee that we're able to deliver many messages without having to change the sign and such. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, that's been a blessing. You know, it removes some of that historical piece of it, but what that allowed us to do is, I mean, literally, Penny Limble has been the technical director at the theater for 30 years, 31. She'll kill me if I say 30. It's been 31 now. But she would have to go out there and change the letters every time we wanted to change a message. Now we're able to put everything that we have going on the marquee, as well as do special things. I had a black couple come in the other day who grew up in Decatur from the time they, but left at 19. And they had never been able to come in the front doors of the theater because of the history.
Sure.
And their son had called me and said, hey, what can we do? And I said, hey, listen, check the marquee when you come in. And I was able to throw up, welcome John and Irma Rainey to the Princess Theater, which was really cool. And they got to come through the front door and they enjoyed it so much, and we had such a good time. But things like that we can do on the fly to make our guests feel welcome to our theater, which is kind of cool, as well as show everything that we've got going on. The problem right now is that if you are waiting for a specific event to come up to take your picture with, you might have to wait a while because we have a lot of stuff going on.
You have a lot of stuff.
A lot of stuff going on. Movies, theater, music. Lots of it.
Well, good. All right, so let's talk a little bit about the, I'm kind of go off of script here just a bit
Oh,
and give credit to some of our wonderful corporate citizens. So, you know, Daikin has long been a wonderful corporate citizen to the city. And so, every so often, Mr. Inouye, who is the president and chief executive officer in Japan, will come and visit Decatur and visit the plant. And whenever he does that, he usually brings these really large checks with him. And there was, I think it was around 3 or 4 years ago that they wanted to redo the marquee. And Daikin took care of the renovation of the marquee.
From my understanding, Ann Scarborough was the director then, and I wasn't quite here yet. I was right in that transition when everything was being finalized. But yeah, Daikin was the one who helped to refurbish the marquee, along with help from 3M as well with the digital signs, and the city, of course, the city of Decatur.
Well, and then Redstone Federal Credit Union helped with, I believe, an elevator.
Yeah, they helped us get an elevator to the loft. Of course, we don't have one that goes to that second balcony, but we have one that goes to the loft now so that everybody can enjoy performances up in the listening room. That is where we hold our singer-songwriter. It's a very intimate space. But we also have this weekend, we have a black box theater coming from Huntsville. Evil Cheese Productions is doing How Not to Commit a Murder this weekend, which is going to be an awesome show. And it's a small black box theater up in our hot box with their no air conditioning this week.
I think I'm going to be visiting with someone here later on that probably we'll talk a little bit about a black box as well. But that's a nice setting. So many cities are not blessed with a community theater, and so what advantages does this offer our residents, and what are some of the programming opportunities available to those interested in the arts?
Yeah, so I mean, having a community theater is huge. I know one of my past owners, Mr. Barrett Shelton, who is dearly missed, would say, you know, every good city has a theater, and well, we don't have one yet, Mary, but I know you're on your way to doing it. And I said, okay, great. But, you know, it's huge for the city of Decatur. I mean, we're the proud home stage for Dreamweavers Theater. We have Curtain and Lights Theater. We have Bank Street Players Theater. They're all community partners with the local theaters with us. We have 7 dance studios now who our stage is their home for their annual recitals. Our residents don't have to drive 100 miles to Birmingham or Nashville to see shows or to get involved in the arts. It's right here in their own backyard. It's great.
It's kind of endless as to the opportunities that the theater can provide for our community.
Yeah, totally. I mean, we do everything, you know. We've done weddings and receptions and concerts, and I've even had a funeral on the stage. I mean, you know, it's used for, it's so multi-purpose. I mean, we were open 275 days last year, active with programming, with rehearsals, with, it's great.
So the addition of the space to the north side of the, what was the original theater, that's really, that was a Christian bookstore, I believe, whenever
Oh, goodness, I don't know. I've heard it's been millions of things. So it's been a law firm, it's been a business school.
Well,
it's been
Harvey Elrod, I believe, had a law firm in there along with Mr. Hudson. Yeah, I forgot about that on the back side.
Yeah, so it's been a lot of things.
Yes, absolutely.
Lots of things going there. So.
Well, now, what's it like getting the listening room series started?
It was fun. You know, I have lived all over the world, and when I came back, there was nowhere really for me to listen to music without having to be in a crowded bar. And we had this whole empty space upstairs that nothing was being used, and I said, why don't we create a place where people can listen to music and enjoy the music without the distractions? So yeah, it was great, and it's been successful. We've had over 80, we're at like 90 performers now who've performed up in that listening room. I have a list of people who contact me on a regular basis wanting to perform in there. So, I mean, we have Grammy award-winning songwriters who've performed in there and beg to come back all the time, and I can't have them back. People coming from Nashville, from Texas, from North Carolina, from the Shoals area, from Huntsville, from everywhere to perform in it. So it's been really cool, and our what they say is that the crowd is the best. You know, they're listening, they're attentive. So our patrons who come to this series are really there to listen to the music, which is great, and that's exciting to me. It's been fun to bring that type of environment to Decatur. I mean, you usually only see it in Nashville, you know.
It's a very intimate environment, isn't it?
Very much so.
Yeah. So, boy, you said 70?
We've had over 90 performers
90,
now.
90.
Yeah, so we are in our 4th year.
Okay.
Yeah, and Daikin has sponsored this series, which is great.
Great. So of the 90, would you say who maybe, I'll give you a couple, favorite performers during your tenure?
Oh, wow. That's
put you on the spot.
really hard for me. I mean, every single one of our performers has been unique and exciting, but I mean, Travis Meadows was a fantastic performer. He's written songs that Eric Church has cut, and Jake Owens, and multiple people who are award-winning artists. He's written their songs. We've had Aaron Enderlin, who has written songs for Reba McEntire, Rodney Crowell. The list goes on and on. But, you know, every one of our songwriters have been, they're all a force to be reckoned with. So it's hard to really, you know, put a favorite in there.
Oh, yeah, I understand.
And what we try to do, those people get the opportunity, if we have the opportunity on the main stage to perform with bigger artists, those are our first choice of who get to open for for those artists if we're allowed to have somebody open.
Good, good. So with your background in both higher education and project management, what makes working at the Princess so rewarding for you?
Well, it's given me a lot of gray hair, so that's rewarding.
I
You know, I think it's that sense of community. You know, in my past life, being that my primary role was really consulting, and I still consult on the side. It's go in, fix it, and leave. This is the first time in 20 years I've not fixed something and let people take it over. I think I've enhanced it. I was blessed to have Ann Scarborough, who had built the foundation and got us the equipment that we needed to really be able to bring the kinds of acts we're bringing. So it's been rewarding to me to see not only that we're able to do what the theater has the capability to do, but people in the community are supporting it and stepping up and saying, we like what you're doing, how can we contribute? Right. So all of our downtown restaurants and merchants support us in some form or fashion by being sponsors or sponsoring movies or sponsoring concerts or whatever it may have you, because what happens when our lights are on is they're busy and they're recognizing that, and that's really cool to see that sense of community and people pulling together to make sure that the crown jewel of Decatur is shining and people are coming to it.
So you mentioned travelers coming through from Nashville and from the Birmingham area. I received a text one Saturday from my friend Mayor Frank Mercado of Hoover, and they were coming up as a family and wanted to know some restaurants that I might recommend for them to enjoy on Sunday. And so that's also a nice thing. Boy, whenever people come to the theater, they're usually going to spend time down and enjoy some of our other some of the nice things we have here in Decatur.
Yeah, we had a dance competition not too long ago in March, I think, and they brought over 3,000 people with them. And I never heard so much from my downtown merchants until after that, when they were like, what? All these people, the new shops on 2nd, they were calling saying, can we do that again? Because people are coming in. And when you're here, a lot of our dance companies are out of town. So there are Ardmore, Madison, Huntsville. And so people are here all day. Sure. And spending their money and time in Decatur, and it's
significant economic impact.
It's fantastic. We couldn't ask for more.
So as we look forward to the future and growth we're seeing in Decatur, what goals do you have for the Princess?
Yeah, keep it open. No, the Princess Theatre is really poised to help Decatur become a true destination. Already families that plan their vacations around some of our concerts. So, I mean, I've heard from multiple people that, that are coming to see Bruce Hornsby. And they've had to rearrange their vacation a couple of times, but they're still coming for it. We've had people who've, really look at it as a destination now. We had somebody who came to see, I think it was Brent Cobb, that were here for 3 days. And, after the concert, we're like, okay, what can we do in Decatur? And what are the hot spots to hit? So I think really our goal is to continue to attract people to come to our city. And not only that, but do more diverse programming that attracts the people in our city that we haven't tapped into over the years, and really brings everybody from all areas of the city into downtown and into the theater, which I think is great.
So then we end up having this season we'll start, I guess, around October with the Carnegie and the Carnegie Carnival. That finally we have the big parade downtown, and that the finale has kind of been centered around the theater. Yeah. Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, I love it. I mean, Kim Mitchell and her team do a great job of bringing people downtown and really highlighting what downtown has to offer. And I love it because all the people downtown are taking their pictures where? In front of the Princess. And and then it typically it ends on our stage as long as we don't have something going on. And and shoot, even last year we had something going on. We waited for that to end, and then here comes the Carnegie. So I mean, it's awesome. I mean, I think we work well together, and we love being able to partner with all of our community partners to help them with whatever they're doing and whatever we can do to.
Well, the two go hand in hand, but whenever you see photos, that's just
Yeah.
what was playing through. You know, it's nighttime. The parade is so colorful. It's turned into one of the largest parades that we have. But that most of the photos tend to take place with that marquee right there.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us.
No,
today.
thanks for having me, Tab.
Yes,
I'm glad to be here. It's an honor.
Look forward to having you back.
Sure.
We also want to thank our viewers for joining us today. Remember that you can sign up for our newsletter by texting Decatur to 42828. Again, that's Decatur to 42828. Until next time, be safe and be kind. Thank you.